Hey, what's up everyone from Las Vegas? It's about 10 o'clock at night here. So I wanted to kind of tell my story. I actually was born in a really small town in Canada, kind of right off the St. Lawrence River. A lot of people have no idea where that is. But we only lived there for about 6 months. It was just me and my mom. I had a single mom, and she moved us to Long Beach, California. And we lived there for about 5 or 6 years. Then we moved to Las Vegas. And in moving to Las Vegas, I grew up on the east side of town. I grew up in old trailer estate off of Lake Mead and Hollywood. Those of you that live in Vegas know where that's at. It's by the Air Force Base. So I did not grow up with any means, but my mom was a really hard worker. I was really fortunate to have such an amazing mom. She was a single parent, but she worked 3 jobs. And I think that really instilled in me to work hard to get what I want. So I started working at about 12 years old, and I kind of, worked my way up with jobs. And, I would go to school. I would go to high school. And then afterwards I would go to like basketball practice or whatever. I would do my homework, and then I would go to work, and I would work till midnight or sometimes even later. And I'd go right back to school the very next morning. So, I didn't come from a family of means. I did grow up in a trailer on the east side of Vegas, and then getting out into the real world, I thought, I'm supposed to go to college because that's what everyone does, right? So I bought all my books, and I went to my first day of college, and I got into my first class, and I sat there for about 2 minutes, and I thought, this sucks. I do not want to be here. So I left, and I started working hard. I started working a lot of hours. I would work 12, 14, 16, sometimes 20-hour days. And I thought, if I'm going to work this many hours, I'm going to work this many hours for myself. So I got into real estate probably like into my mid-20s. And getting into real estate, into an industry that you don't know, passing your real estate test, they don't teach you marketing, how to deal with clients, things like that. They just don't. So getting into real estate is like being at the bottom of Mount Everest and looking up and not knowing how to get to the top, and nobody's telling you how to get to the top. So that's kind of my analogy with getting into real estate, not having a mentor or somebody really train you. So throughout my real estate career, I learned a lot. I learned land, multifamily, industrial, commercial, manufacturing. I've been in front of the planning commission, things like that. And I really wasn't letting people know how amazing I was. And I don't say that to be cocky. I say it with confidence because I wasn't letting people know the experience that I had in all these different areas of real estate. And that really hurt me. So, going through real estate, it was an up and down journey. And, I really didn't have somebody to really guide me, right? And then COVID hit. So when COVID hit, I had all these deals in contract, but then all my clients got laid off. And all of a sudden, I don't have any money, and I don't have any money coming in. And I had invested into a development, into an event center school that, I was very passionate about, and we built it from scratch. We had a construction loan. My house is collateral on that building. So I had to do everything I could, and that building got shut down during COVID. So here I am, no money, my building shut down, my house is collateral, I can't make money, all my clients are laid off and furloughed, and I don't know what to do. So I had a choice. I had a choice to either, mope and think, okay, it's COVID, I'm just gonna sit here and chill, or I had a decision to pivot and try and take it to another level. And I had a lot of time to think. Obviously, we all did. We were all sitting in our house with nothing to do. So I made a choice. I made a choice to really take my real estate career to another level. And I did that. And I took on an assistant, and I started marketing a lot more. And I started screaming from the mountaintops, hey, I'm Nate Strager, and I can do everything. I just don't do residential. And I didn't go to school to get a certificate on how to sell land. I actually sold land. I actually know sales reports. I actually know surveys. I've actually been through it, and blah, blah, blah. And people started to really recognize that, really start to see it. And that really started to help me. And in 2021 and 2022, my real estate career just blew up, just really, blew up to another level. And for the first time in my life, I became millionaire status. And I got there because I was at a point in my life where I had no money. COVID hit. I didn't even have money to eat. I was literally living off of my credit cards, and I was trying to figure out how I was going to make the payment on that credit card because I had no money in the bank. And I was, like maybe 15 years of the business, and I was at that point. So imagine 15 years in the business, COVID hits, no money in the bank, don't have money to eat, and I had to make a choice, right? So in 21, 22, I really propelled myself to another level, let people know, like, hey, I'm here. I am the best at what I do. I'm not just any other agent. I didn't get my real estate license from a Groupon course. I have good experience. I answer my phone, and I had to be really persistent and have to have perseverance in getting to that level, So from growing up on the east side in a manufactured home in a trailer to being a millionaire, it was a really, really amazing journey. And I was going to say bumpy road, but I wouldn't trade it for anything because I learned a lot, and it didn't happen overnight. I didn't have anybody to show me the ropes on how to get here. I had a few, friends that kind of, gave me advice here and there, but not really like a mentor that was there like day in, day out. So, when you're at your absolute worst, you got to make a decision. What do? Do you just say, woe is me, and sit back and do nothing? Or do you pivot and do you figure it out? You got to figure it out. And if you want to get to another level, you got to figure out how to get there, because nobody's going to give it to you. It just doesn't happen. So now I'm in a situation where now I'm licensed in California. Obviously, the prices there are a lot higher, and I want to get from 7 figures to 8 figures, and in 5 years, this isn't hopefully, in 5 years, I'll be in that 9-figure range, because it's going to happen. So those of you that are trying to get into business, maybe you didn't come from means, maybe you grew up in a bad area, don't be embarrassed that you're working at McDonald's, or you're a landscaper, or, you had to do some of these jobs that you really don't want to do. It's the way it is. I worked as a landscaper. I had to shovel sand into a cement mixer. I worked at Albertsons. I worked at a dairy. I did all these jobs that I hated, but I did it because I had to, right? You have to grind it out. So don't be ashamed to work a blue collar job. There's no shame in that. There's a lot of amazing people that work with blue collar job and provide for their families and provide for their parents and send their kids to college. That's amazing, so you could do it. You can go from nothing, but nobody's going to give it to you. There's no government assistance to be the man. There's no government assistance to become a millionaire, or even more. And you don't have to have a college degree. Not that there's anything wrong with college, but you don't have to have a college degree. Obviously, you need a college degree to be a doctor, a scientist, neurologists, things like that, engineers. School is great, but it's not for everyone. And if you want to get to that level of being a millionaire or something, or multi-millionaire, you can do it. But don't work a job that you don't enjoy. If you're going to do something that you're passionate about. So I hope my little story of coming from a small town, being born in Canada, moving to Long Beach, growing up here in Las Vegas in a trailer, I hope my story helps those of you that are in the day-to-day grind, grinding it out, trying to get to the next level. I hope this helps you get to the next level. And I want to let everybody know something, that my phone is always on. And if you ever need advice on how to get there, you can always call me. You could always message me. You could always, whatever. I'll pay for coffee. I'll pay for lunch, and I'll sit and I'll help you write that business plan, because it's not easy. And if somebody would have helped me write that business plan, somebody would have helped me say, don't spend $10,000 here on marketing because it's going to be a waste. Spend it over here. I would have been a lot farther along, right? So you can do it. No matter where you started, you can end up where you want to end up. So I hope this video finds everyone well. I hope this helps those of you that are trying to figure it out and really don't know how to. I hope this helps you in getting you there. And I wish everyone the best, and I hope you guys crush 2023 and beyond. So wishing everyone the best, and I hope you guys have a great night.